We're going to call this I know, right? We're going to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. And we're going to do roll call first, guys. Okay, thank you. Dr. Ball?
We are going to start with the invocation and the pledges led by Roger.
As we begin this new year, let us take a moment to reflect on the purpose that brings us together. May we be guided by wisdom in the decisions we make this evening, remembering that behind every discussion and every decision is the community we serve. We give thanks for the educators and employees who have prepared our schools to welcome students back. May our students enter this year with confidence. May they find their classrooms where they feel welcomed and inspired to discover what they are capable of achieving. As this new year begins, guide us to move forward together and serve in a manner that is pleasing to you. We ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And now we're going to move on to recognition. So board, I'd ask that you would go down to the front.
Good evening. Tonight we are recognizing two very special people, our friends of Southwest. A friend of Southwest is someone who gives their time and energy to support our district, schools, and community. And tonight we're blessed to recognize two friends of Southwest. First up, Ms. Jean Russell, please come forward. Jean Russell has always been a strong supporter to our students and a wonderful partner of Southwest ISD. She helped create several well-known San Antonio education programs, including Cafe College, Pre-K for SA, Upgrade, and SA Works. She's also the founding executive director of CAST Schools, a nonprofit school network that helps students get ready for college, careers, and the future. Jean is a great advocate for the students and staff at CAST STEM High School. She shares ideas, helps build community partnerships, and looks for new opportunities that help students learn and succeed. She also works alongside the school's principal, offering guidance, encouragement, and resources to help the campus and its students thrive. Jean recently joined the Southwest ISD Education Foundation, bringing her experience, ideas, and love for helping students to our community. We're excited to have her on our team as we continue creating more opportunities for Southwest ISD students. Jean's dedication to students makes her a true friend of Southwest ISD. Thank you. Our other special guest tonight is Carla Medina. Please come forward. Carla Medina is a dedicated community leader and proud supporter of Southwest Independent School District. She served as PTA president at Big Country Elementary PTA for 6 years, helping strengthen the connection between families, staff, and students. Carla also led the Southwest High School Athletic Booster Club as president for over a decade, supporting student athletes and school programs. Carla currently serves as director at large for the Southwest ISD Education Foundation, helping support initiatives that create greater opportunities for students across the district. She's also a team lead for the Relay for Life of Southwest ISD organization, bringing people together to support the fight against cancer and make a difference in the lives of others. Her commitment to Southwest ISD is truly a family affair. Her son is a proud Southwest High School graduate, as are multiple nieces and nephews. One granddaughter currently attends Elm Creek Elementary with another soon to follow, while her daughter-in-law is a teacher at Elm Creek and serves alongside Carla on the Relay for Life committee. A proud supporter of all things Southwest ISD, Carla continues to give her time, energy, and passion to making a positive impact on students, staff, and families throughout the community. And for that, we are proud to recognize Carla Medina as the 2026 Friend of Southwest ISD. Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We have some cake and refreshments in the foyer to celebrate our two Friends of Southwest. Go back into session at 6:17. Brandon, do we have anybody signed up to speak? Okay, thank you. Board members, next is the consent agenda. You've had that for review. Anybody have any questions? If not, I need a motion. We have a motion and a second, and I'll remind y'all to turn your microphones on when you do it. All those in favor, vote now. Or if you're opposed, vote now too. Roger, I can't see who's voting. Okay. Can you raise your hand for yes? No? Okay, that passes unanimously. Next up is the items of information, construction update.
Other than we are getting ready for the first day of school. After the first day of school, we'll have a bunch of punch list items, but we'll have certificates to actually occupy the buildings. Elm Creek will be the only existing construction project that will go till December, but all the others should be near completion, and they'll just be walkthroughs and punch list items.
Okay, and what is left at Elm Creek?
Just some areas that, well, Thomas, you want to speak on that? I'll let Thomas, because he's the
Okay,
expert
thank
in the room.
The only thing left at Elm Creek is going to be, there's the classrooms that are where the first grade kinder rooms had the bathrooms. They took those over at the beginning of the summer. They're currently working on right now. They're actually looking at that portion of it. I think they'll actually be done before December, but their contract takes them through Christmas break. So, but that's the phase that's left there still. So there will still be some people in portables currently, but by Christmas, they should be able to move everybody inside the building.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Do we have any questions other than that, board? No? Okay. Monthly tax report?
Yes, ma'am. We are trending right at 98%, which is where we were last year at this time. Remember, we'll still be collecting taxes all the way into probably November for those late taxpayers. And so we're hoping to get to about 99.5, which we usually end up.
Awesome. Anybody have a question on that? Okay. Monthly investment report. If you have questions on that, you can see Brandon or Scott. Report on gifts and bequests, enrollment report.
I don't know if you saw the enrollment report, which is pretty positive. Like, we're up about 700 kids from this time last year. Last year, we started school like at 14,1. We're at 14,871 right now. And then we'll start school. We'll probably get some late registrations, but we also have to keep in mind that we may have some no-shows. So this probably will change as we keep going forward.
Okay. Review of purchases over 100,000. Any questions on that, board members? No. Budget and tax rate update.
Yeah, so Scott Stevens is going to present on this topic.
Scott, you have to turn the mic on.
Let's try that again. Good evening, board members. Dr. Ball. Tonight, we're going to have a brief presentation on the tax report. We wanted to kind of come to you tonight to kind of see some of the changes we made as we get ready to come and ask you next week to approve our budget and our tax rate. So without further ado, here we go. All right. So we have a little bit of changes on our ADA projection. We lowered it a little bit to 13,400. We believe that the 13,600 that we were using earlier in the summer was a little too high for us, so we've lowered that a little bit. So we've had a little bit of change in our revenue projection, but we'll show that to you in a second. We've also received our certified values, and they're a little bit higher than last year, so that's a good thing. And our tax rate that we will be asking you to recommend for the M&O has gone down a little bit based on the TEA compression rate. All right. Projected revenue. So we've been talking about a projected revenue about 185 million. Well, based on our most recent updates with Mo Casey and working with them, it looks like we're going to be at about 184 million. So it's about $1 million less. So that's a little disappointing on the revenue side. So we worked real hard this last couple of weeks to make sure that we can find those savings in the draft of the expense column. So on this slide, you have an expense. You have our expenses. So we're looking at, with everything said and done, about a $3.2 million deficit budget. It's still 84% of the budget is payroll, and it still maintains the 4 months of fund balance. So any questions on this? This is what we'll be bringing to you next week.
What is the amount that we have to have on reserve for the months?
So we need to have three months on reserve, and that's about 15 million a month. So it's about 45 million.
Okay.
So, you know what? We have the next slide. There you go, right there with the fund balance. As you can see, we're trending down, but we are working hard to make sure that we don't continue to trend even further down. So any questions on the fund balance? Our child nutrition budget that we're bringing to you will be pretty cut and dry, $21 million. A little bit of money left over at the end of the day. They're going to be replacing equipment and all that good stuff. Their normal year. Debt service budget. We'll be asking the board to approve the INS rate of 0.4381, which will generate about $34 million in revenue. A majority of that will be in INS collections, and then of course we have the state aid, so that we can make our bond payment of $31 million. All right. Something new this year, Senate Bill 1453 requires us to ask the board permission if we're going to ask for a tax rate that is higher than what we need to meet our minimum debt payment. So next week we'll be asking you all to approve the same tax rate that we have currently, which is 0.4381. And so we're hoping that with this tax rate that we have currently, that we'll be able to meet our defeasance payments as well as make our INS tax payments. So it's kind of a new rule out there. If we did lower our tax rate to the minimum, it would be about 4 cents less. So we feel that it's fair to continue with the same tax rate and ask the board to approve that INS tax rate. All right, any questions on that rule? Yes, ma'am.
You said we hope to make the payment. What does that mean?
Well, if you receive your tax dollars, you receive the money and then you make your payment. So I didn't mean to say we hope. We will
Okay,
make our
we will make
we
that.
will make
Okay.
our debt payment. Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Sorry. I don't want to count all the tax dollar chickens before they hatch. But,
Right.
But we're in good shape. All right. All right. Let's see. We talked about that slide. All right. So this is what our tax rate will look like that we recommend next week, $1.15. It's very similar to what we have in 2025. It's a little bit less based on the TEA compression and the M&O tax rate. So any questions on that? All right. Well, next week, we have a big week coming up for us. We have the public hearing on the 27th where we'll discuss the budget in open session at 5:30. And then we'll go into our special board meeting at 6 p.m. and talk about the budget and hopefully adopt it. And then we'll ask you all to adopt the tax rate. And then September 1st, start all over again. All right. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and all of your team for all your hard work with that. Whoops. Okay, next we have middle school sports update.
Yes, ma'am. I'm asking Coach Wagner to come up and kind of explain some of the changes that are happening in our middle schools. We think they're very innovative. It's a way to really help one sport keep recruiting students and also deal with the heat that a lot of districts are facing right now across the state of Texas.
So good evening, everybody. Excited to try something new in athletics. We're going to move football. Basically, we're going to flip football and soccer. So usually we play football, obviously, in the fall, and then we've played soccer after Christmas in the spring break. In the past couple of years, we have noticed with the wet bulb and the heat and things like that, and we can't move our practices in middle schools to the mornings. So we've noticed a few things. One, we can't practice after school all the time because it gets too hot. We have to go inside based on the UIL recommendations with the wet bulb globe and things like that. Number two, with it being so hot, we've started to notice a dip in our numbers because kids don't want to play when it's really, really hot. And so taking those two things into account, we worked with the UIL. We had to change a couple of things in the UIL constitution and rules. But once we got that done a couple of years ago, we talked to all of our conference and threw it out there and got a lot of favorable things. So one, it's about safety first and foremost for our kids. Number two, we really want to start growing our program a little bit more. And we think that by doing that, we'll get more kids. And then finally, when we move it over to January, we can get a lot better officiating because those guys aren't doing anything else. So you'll see some of the best officials out in a middle school football game you've ever seen in your life. But excited about that. So like I said, the initial idea came a couple of years ago. We worked with the UIL, got conference support with all of the different ADs. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, but all of our conference in the Big 19 has decided to stay with us, except for two, Pleasanton and Somerset. They're the two smaller schools in our district where the tradition of football and things like that, they have a few more things with lights that will help them do that. And like I said, the officials and all of that will be really good for us. From there, we talked to the officials. They were good with it. Talked to Dr. Ball, Mr. Crisp, and they gave us the go-ahead to move forward looking at that. And so this is what it'll look like. So girls' sports are not going to change at all. We'll still play volleyball. Volleyball will go into soccer while the boys play basketball and softball. And so basically, if you look at that, all we're doing is flipping football and soccer. Football will not lose any games. They're not going to lose any practices. In fact, they'll probably get much better practices with much better instruction because we used to play on Tuesdays. We'll be moving to Thursdays and Saturdays. So they're going to get a full week of practice, go to the game, things like that. In the past, it was play on Tuesday, practice Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Friday, get a walkthrough on Monday. So it's very off. A lot of the state does that, but this allows us to really do better with that. But I think the big point here is basically we're flipping soccer and football, and then the girls' sports do not change at all. And another big thing is we're not playing soccer in the middle of January, so you're not going to see girls and boys running around in shorts and it's 45 degrees and everything. So how it'll operate. We'll play 8th grade football. So the biggest drawback to doing this is obviously the sun goes down a lot earlier. And so we play A and B games. We only play one team in soccer, so we make it usually before the sun goes down in soccer. We won't be able to do that when it comes to football. So what we're doing is we're moving the 8th grade games to our two stadiums. So McNair and Scobie will play at their 8th grade teams will play at the complex, and and Resnick and McAuliffe will play at Legacy when they're there. We'll play anywhere between 2 and 4 football games a night there. And then our soccer teams for the practice will be the one inconvenience. So they'll practice at our different fields off of there. Saturday mornings, our 7th grade will play. And then our zones will change a little bit. You'll see that in football and soccer, the zones will be McAuliffe, McNair. We'll basically be with the 4 Harlandale schools and our 4 schools. When we go to the girls and our other sports, we'll be with Somerset. We'll be with both La Soya and Matthew and all the other sports. So doesn't change a whole lot. I think the biggest one when we were talking to people about this was just the shock and awe of you're not playing football in the fall and then trying to figure that out. And so, like I said, the biggest reason we're doing this is because we think it's better for our kids. I think number one, it'll be safer for them. And then when it's cooler, we feel like more of them will play. We'll get them into it. When you get to high school, you practice in the morning. So the only thing they're really doing in the heat of the day at that point is playing football games, which is what they like to do. And so that's our plan there. Are there any questions?
Is
Sounds
this,
good.
is this something we're going to implement like now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll start first day of school, soccer practice starts for the boys and volleyball practice starts for the girls. They can practice soccer in the heat a lot easier when they're not wearing pads and helmets. So we can work with that.
Any more questions? No. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
Then the 2026-2027 Student and Parent Handbook.
So today we have Mary Lou Hernandez, our Executive Director of Pupil Services, that will go through a brief update of all the 60-some odd pages you were provided for the student code of conduct and the handbook.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Ball. Each year, we review the student and parent handbook. We begin with the TASB Model Student Handbook, and then we also ask districts and divisions to review it and provide any updated information that they may need to be added. This list is short this year because this is not a legislative year, so there weren't that many updates to make. But of course, first and foremost, and you'll see the list there, the campus list was updated to include Juan Alvarado Elementary. Under child abuse, we added some information regarding school staff misconduct and warning signs. And then it reflects, we changed the removal of the compulsory attendance requirement for kindergarten through 2nd grade students assigned to accelerated reading instruction. In addition, the college admissions section was updated to explain that beginning in the fall of 2028, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board will establish the required scores on designated college entrance exams as part of the criteria for automatic admission to Texas public universities. A new private spaces section was added regarding the designation of multiple occupancy private spaces for use only by individuals of one sex as required by state law. And the unauthorized person section was updated to reflect that a referee, judge, or other official at a school or UIL-sponsored athletic event may eject a spectator without first giving a verbal warning or establishing persistent inappropriate behavior. In addition, we've added the approved 26-27 dress code as an appendix. We've also updated the attendance car giveaway guidelines. Students will now earn tickets based on the number of days missed during each 6-week attendance cycle versus their attendance percentage during that 6-week attendance cycle. Under child nutrition, we added the language to include that we are providing the at-risk supper meal service. And the parent and family engagement section was updated to include the types of meetings recommended by parents and the number of spring meetings that we're going to have. Our grievance policy was also added as an appendix, and a link to our parental rights web page and site was also included so that all of our consents for extracurricular activities and fine arts are all, they can be found in one location. And then, of course, we updated vaccination requirements, UIL and extracurricular eligibility calendar, testing dates, assessment dates, and schedules. So, and that's it. Any questions?
No. Thank you, Mary Lou.
you.
Appreciate it. And we have nothing under administration and human resources. We'll move to business and finance. Consider approval of the date for a public hearing to discuss the 2026, 2027 proposed budget and 2026 tax rate.
Yes, ma'am. We're asking the board to approve the August 27th, 2026 at 5:30 PM to hold the public hearing to discuss the budget and tax rate.
Okay, can I see a show of hands at who's going to be able to make it on the 27th? Can we all make, we need 4 at least. Okay, all right, we're good with that. We have a motion and a second, although, let's go ahead and vote. Thank you, motion passes. Consider approval of the date to finalize the 2025-2026 final budget amendment and adopt the 26-27 budget and tax rate.
Yes, ma'am. After the public hearing, we will have a special meeting at 6 PM on August 27th, 2026 to approve the final budget amendment and the adoption of the budget and tax rate.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? If not, please vote. Thank you. Passes. Consider approval to amend the 26-27 compensation manual.
Yes, as we continue to look at our compensation manual, there was some items that we needed to add to it. There was some grants that we got awarded that had some stipends in there, so we're asking the board tonight to approve those stipends. We are adding a fine arts assistant dance of 4,000. We have had great recruitment in our dance program. If you go out to a football game, you can see there's a lot of girls or individuals. And so we're asking the board to approve that stipend. We're moving one of our assistant principal in residence to increase their days to 210. And then we're changing our social worker summer rate for next summer to $33 an hour so that we can make sure we can attract and recruit social workers during the summer. And then there's a special ed stipend schedule in here. All the others are already approved. It's the middle section, the autism grant, that we're asking the board to approve tonight.
We have a motion and a second. All of that is included in the budget
Yes, ma'am.
that you get.
Yeah, most of these are all grants, and we've included the ones that are not in the budget. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Thank you. Passes. Let's see. Consider approval of the 2026 certified and supplemental appraisal roll.
Yes, ma'am. Every year, we're required to approve the certified values that we receive in July. This year, we received certified values of $7.1 billion. Last year was about 6.8 billion. So we had a pretty good increase of 400 million, 300, 400 million. That's why you saw kind of a drop in our M&O tax rate due to the tax compression. So tonight, we're asking the board to approve the certified values.
Okay. Do I have a motion? We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions? If not, please vote. Thank you. Motion passes. Consider approval of property, casualty, and liability insurance for the 2026-2027 school year.
Yes, this is every year we have Frost Insurance, who's our agent. They go out to bid for us. And you can see there, last year we paid an expiring premium of 2.4 million. There was a decrease, so especially in the property side. So we enjoyed that decrease. So there's about $75 million in savings. Unfortunately for us, I know that we had some automobile incidents, which caused our automobile insurance to go up. And so overall, we're asking the board to approve Frost Insurance for $2.3 million for the 26-27 school year.
Are you saying 75,000?
75? Did I say 75 million?
Yeah.
That sounds really that sounds a lot better. So, yeah,
we
yes,
have a
it's
deficit.
75,000. I apologize.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon. I need a motion.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any other questions? If not, let's vote, please. Thank you. Motion passes. Item 9, under curriculum instruction, we have nothing there. Special programs, nothing. So we are going to go into closed session unless you have one other thing.
Yes, ma'am, I do. Like to let everybody know that we're excited. Tomorrow, we're going to have our convocation. That'll start at 8:30. The breakfast starts about 8 and 8:30 sharp. We want to start the program. It is at the Dragon Stadium. Dress appropriately, meaning shorts, caps, visors, sunglasses, anything like that to keep cool. We also have our first day of school on August 24th. And then the Juan ribbon cutting is going to be on September the 4th at 9:30.
Do you have any information about a service for the superintendents on Sunday?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, it is at 11 o'clock.
Southwest
at
Baptist Church.
Southwest Baptist Church at 11 o'clock, and Mr. Crisp and I will be attending.
Yes, and any board member that would like to can attend. Well, any community member can, but they're specifically going to pray for the new school year. Thank you, Dr. Ball.
Thank you.
So as permitted by sections 551.001-551.146 of the Texas Government Code, we will go into closed session at 6:42. Okay. We go back into open session at 7:29.
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no questions, please vote. Thank you. That motion passes.
I move to consider approval to certify the district 3-year safety and security audit.
We have a motion and a second to certify the district's 3-year safety and security audit. Do we have any questions? If not, let's please vote. Thank you. Motion passes. Do we have any other business? Anyone? No, then we will adjourn this meeting at 7:30.